Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, everyone. It's Friday night. We're still number one. It is the Manchester United agenda, the day after, the night before, and we're all still buzzing. And I'm buzzing to be joined by Mr. B and Monday. Gents, how are you?
I, I, I'm good, man. The wins haven't been happening very often. I'm still, I'm still buzzing. I'm still buzzing. Now, just roll on the next 2 days. You know, let that, let it carry on. Get the points against West Ham, and then it'll be, yeah. It would have been a great last couple of days, to be fair.
Yeah,
Monday.
yeah, totally. I think that yesterday, what happened yesterday, is like got to be the catalyst for something to step up now. Few things to note: we're getting players back in. I know Martinez had a bit of a foot injury, but that's not too much of a problem. So he was magnificent. Kobe is looking good. FFP, we didn't sign a player, but we got youth players coming through, and this might be a blessing in disguise. It might be good for us, and it might be good for the league. You know, you can't just go out there and buy players or just get people in just like that. You know, that goal yesterday, bath time, Mr. B, everyone out there, man. I've watched it nearly like maybe 100 times since yesterday. Unbelievable. And he's 18 years old. He's got to be one of the best prospects out there in world football right now. And there's comparisons to Seedorf and all these other players. You know, he's just magnificent. I love the boy. We need to cherish him and look after him and back him 100%. He's such a great little player. And what you talk about clutch. Greatness comes from being clutch, doing it at the right time, at the right moment. And yesterday was just amazing for me. I'm still haven't come down. I'm up in the heavens right now, just delighted. So let's talk about West Ham, but let's not forget about what happened yesterday, and hopefully we can kick on from that.
Yeah, I sort of like all day I've been sort of torn about some of the aspects of what I saw last night, but you can't take away from that sort of glory, which is what it's all about. You know, I think we have youth, courage, success, like as our sort of motto on the channel, as well as United, and that's what it felt like. It was sort of reminded me of this time in Chile where I went 2 weeks without getting anything with a girl, and then when it finally happened, I was buzzing for days, much longer than I should have been. That's how it felt today. Like I'm cleansed. But speaking of being cleansed, it's the comments, and look, it's Solo. Solo's a negative Nancy these days. So I'd love to hear what he thought of Kobe and that match last night. Have you fallen back in love, Solo?
He's going to say he's not Fred.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We don't need the new Seedorf. We need a new Fred. And it's Steph Griffiths. She's bigging up Solo. Bart is a serious fan. He's probably been working all day on top level stupid comments to show us. So I'm really hoping that these are good tonight, Bart. And it's the king of the kebabs. It's Matty Bassett on the best day of the week. And he's bigging us all up, and we're bigging him up. And he's saying, Minu, quality. That composure was unreal. And then we got Tyrone Williams in the house, and he's saying that Kobe Minu's quality, the comparisons, with Seedorf are understandable, but we can't get too carried away. Seedorf was on a different level, but Kobe's potential is exciting.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Was it the same Seedorf that won the Champions League at 18 years old or 19 years old with Davids and all these guys, given the trust to come through? He plays like Seedorf. He's made an impact at the same age as Seedorf as well. Come on. I'm getting carried away. There's enough evidence there for that, Tyrone. And Tyrone, I hope you're doing well, bro. Big up. Love, enough love, as always.
I have to say I'm a little bit with Tyrone here, but I do think it's unfair to compare Seedorf, who is genuinely one of the most underrated players that European football has produced. I think he's won the Champions League at three different clubs. He was an outstanding player, and Kobe's got the potential to get there, but it's up to us as a club and Kobe as an individual to realise that potential. But all the signs look amazing. Like, I mean, Monday, you've watched that goal hundreds of times today. I was just lying on the floor after the goal was scored. I didn't see his reaction to it, where he just like waves Anthony away like he's the Queen, and then and just strolls about. I mean, I think, I don't know what I'd have done if I scored a goal like that. I'd probably just take all my clothes off and jump in the cab. Oh, unbelievable reaction. What did you think?
I think he's super cool. This is the thing. The way he plays his game is very calm, composed, under pressure. He just plays out nice and calm. And the way he scored the goal was nice and calm. Read the situation, like Mr. B gave a great analogy yesterday about being the Flash. Everything in slow motion. He can read people coming through your legs, pop, round the corner, use that defender to curl it around. And when he ran off, it hit him. You know that joy, that buzz, like you were talking about 2 weeks in Chile, waiting to get that girl. Yeah, that buzz. Once it finally comes through, it hits you. And they say, Bob Marley said, one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. And he felt nothing but joy. But he didn't, he held it back. It's like a reflux thing. It was coming up and he held it back. Said, no, you stay there. I'm going to be this cool, I'm going to stick with that gimmick, the cool, calm, collective gimmick. And he held it, and all you can see is teeth. You know, you saw all his teeth and a smiling. But I love the guy. I'm in love with this player. I'm in love with him. And even like you said about the celebration, even just to keep calm in that situation, he's got to be one of the coolest dudes right out there. You know, they used to give you that big fat zoot spliff and the glasses and say gangster something. What was it? On a picture, they used to do like the glasses, dark glasses.
Oh,
and he needs one of those, a meme with that, you know, to say what gangster he is, man. What a wonderful, wonderful moment. And by the way, you know, the master of disaster, Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers, Action Jackson, one of my favorite movie stars, is passed away today. And I know this is Man United agenda and everything else, but he played some really good roles in Predator, Rocky series, Action Jackson, and that golf film as well. Top guy, Carl Weathers, R.I.P., rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. You've managed to cover Bob Marley, acid indigestion, and Carl Weathers in a comment about Kobe Minu celebrating a goal. I have to agree. I love the Rocky films so much. I'm a big fan of Predator. It's always really sad when these guys die. But speaking of predators, it's Ratchet. Just a joke, Ratchet.
It is funny. Don't take that.
Right. Now, this is probably my favourite comment I think we've ever had. Alexa, what time does Tesco's close in Landsworth tonight? From Andrew Williams. All right. Well, a shocker. Matty Bassett isn't getting a kebab tonight. And we have got Bilal here who's saying, let's not get carried away because we're capable of ruining careers. Andrew's saying that he doesn't want to miss the show, but he's still got to do a shop. Rajat, United created a lot more chances with Garnacho at right wing. And do we have anyone? God, we've got a lot of comments coming in. We've got Andrew's brother saying the biggest compliment I can give Minu is he plays that he's 25, not 18. Let's give the coaching setup at United a shout out. They've done a good job with him. And here's Bart. Right, what's Bart got for me? Surrounding Minu and Garnacho, good pros on and off the pitch and role models is a must. Off the field antics of some players could influence them. A bit disappointed by that. I was hoping for a comment instead of a very sensible one. It is really nice. I mean, I'm still a little bit Garnacho skeptical about his work, about just how serious a person he is. You know, we've seen him running around with dwarfs dressed as Messi and Ronaldo and things but it's really nice that after a couple of questionable players coming through the youth academy in terms of their sort of professionalism and character, Minu's reaction suggests to me that he's got his head screwed on. And of course, Mr. B, his brother was on Love Island. So I'm hoping that
you said that. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. But he when you said it, I actually thought he was joking. He was really on it, yeah?
Yeah, his brother was on Love Island. So Kobe Minu will have seen Celebrity like close up, and he'll have seen what effects it's had on his brother and things. And I'm hoping that you know, that he kind of, I'm hoping basically that his brother could have been a footballer if he'd worked hard enough. And Kobe Minu has seen that and has seen what's happened with Love Island and things, and that's not for me. You know, I want to hang around with McTominay, Tom Heaton, and watch David Attenborough documentaries. I've got no interest in going out in Deansgate. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, well, I want boring, serious players at the football club. Like, I don't want Jack Grealishes and things anymore. I just want a team of professionals that work hard, and from there we can get some more exciting people in.
By the way, we're building that culture. I think we're under Ten Hag. I think you have to give the guy credit because that's the kind of culture that we want to see in the future, and that's what he's building. Because he's got rid of certain characters in the club who are not promoting that. So I want to big up Ten Hag for that as well. Let's get behind the manager.
Amonde, literally, with last week, Rashford was getting drunk in Belfast. What do you mean? That he's
well, he punished him, but he got punished for it. You don't turn a blind eye to behaviour like that. If you transgress the law, you get punished for it. Simple as that. And he come back and respect to Rashford because he come back yesterday and we were all behind him. That shows that we still got love for him, but we still can wag the finger and say, look, you crossed the line, you crossed the border. And don't
I'm still not over what Rashford did. One good performance doesn't make a season, and like I want him to carry this on. I thought he was great in the first half yesterday, like the best I've seen him for years. But that Mr. B, you love Rashford, or at least you did. Like how's
I love him again. I love him again. Look, I've tried half time. I tried not to like him. I tried to be, toe the line. Oh, he's got to behave. When he scored, man, the joy in my heart. I love him. I will accept that there's people out there who don't like him. I understand he plays lazy. His body language on the pitch. Do you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I love Marcus Rashford. I do. And I actually don't think there's anything that he's going to do now that will make me not like him. I was vexed with him for 24 hours, 48 hours maybe. You know what I mean? And then I see him in the kit and I'm thinking, go on. And then when he scores, it was like, yeah, I know I love you, man. He brings joy to my heart, man. He brings joy to my heart. So look, see. And I know there's people think I'm mad. There's people who think I am bloody mad, and I accept that. It's just the way it is. They just have to accept it.
Yeah, you're allowed to love players and things. And to be honest, I could fall in love with Marcus if he plays like that every game with the work rate, helping his teammates out and stuff. Like, give us some in chat. Let me know how you're feeling about Rashford because yeah, I'm so sorry.
I love this guy.
Mr. B, you've broken his heart. He had so much trust in you, Mr. B. With your
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I can't. You can't help who you fall in love with, and that's just how it is, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you can change him. Like, don't listen to the rest of them. You can change Marcus. But I say that I want a team of James Milners. That's completely true. I think I've talked about my James Milner ice cream story a lot. Tyrone. Right, this is why he's Andrew's brother. I hope we can sell Rashford in the summer because he played properly last night, but will soon revert to type. It's incredible. Same name, exactly the same language as well. That's my fear, Tyrone, to be honest. Does Mr. B love Rashford more than Fred? Yeah, we've got Hot Fuzz saying, big up, guys. I'm the Rashford villain. He's got to go. And Matty Bassett, for Rashford, it's a start, but I want consistency from him for the rest of the season. And do you really want to know about Rashford? Series of emojis. I don't understand, but I think it means that she wants him to leave on a plane. But yeah. All right. So we've got a show to do tonight, boys. Right. You know what the drill is. I've got some pictures. I've got some stats. I've got some stuff. And we've got the solo 11. All right, it's an easy show, to be honest. But first up, I'm delighted to... Oh, no, I'm not. Right, these are the fixtures that we got in February and for the rest of the season. On Monday, we're playing West Ham, Villa, Luton and Fulham. So it's basically a game every 7 days, once a week now. Do you think that we will be able to go hard, full strength?
Yeah, 100%. I like those fixtures. I thought they were going to be scary. The only one there is away at Villa, but they're sort of dropping off a little bit. Now, Luton Town, it's going to be a hard place to go for anyone. I think they're physical. You know what to expect there. And Fulham at home should be a win. And we're at home against West Ham. I mean, look, we should be looking at do the maths, quick maths. 3 times 4 is 12. Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh sorry.
Yeah.
Did you want us to confirm Jesus on Monday? You wanted us to confirm that? Bloody hell.
Yeah. So those 12 points, I think we can get 4 wins there, and it's amazing that January we didn't have games. Only had 2 games. Time for people to get back in. If you listen to the press conference, the manager saying he had to sort of drag people off for different reasons yesterday. The striker, we've only got 1 striker. Would have liked to have got another striker. So we are going to be hard pressed, but every 7 days you can manage that a bit better. And that's why, in response to your question, Bartime, I think we can go ahead and go full throttle with our best team, or what the manager thinks is the best team, not solo, and go for these next coming games, you know?
Can I just say, I do want to defend Solo though. He got it right on he got the team spot on for on. It doesn't happen very often, but I did give him a pat on his shoulder when I saw him.
All right. Okay, so those are the fixtures that we got coming up, and then guess who's back? He's back in training.
Our little pony, our little Sheffield pony.
I think he's become my favourite player.
Just to explain to people who don't know what the agenda or bar time has created here, just explain to people why you say that's Amrabat.
It's just because whenever you see a pony running, it reminds me of Amrabat. And I've watched so many videos of him recently, like at AFCON and things, and it's got that little clippity clop run, and I just can't wait. I really hope we see him play again before he leaves, because he's
that's for the novelty.
Yeah, it's just a delight to watch on a football pitch for me now. All right, so that's your standard Friday Amrabat photo. What have I got next? All right, bit boring, but I've got some stats about West Ham for everyone. All right, so they're in 6th. They've won 10 games. They've drawn 6 games. They've lost 6 games. And they're getting like 1.5 points a game. Make of that what you will. Their away record, they got 17 points, which is all right. But interestingly, in the last 6 games, they've won once in the last 6 games. But they've had 5 draws and 1 loss, which was to Bristol City. So they're not really scoring a lot of goals, and they are conceding at the moment. And I think that we might be able to get at West Ham. Like, Mr. B, is this just nonsense here?
No, it's not nonsense. Half time. I didn't realize West Ham's, considering where they are in the league, I didn't realize their recent form had been that bad. That gives us hope. That gives us hope. Half time, it gives us hope.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to remember that AFCON has also been around, and Kudos, one of their better players.
Shit, he's back, isn't he?
He is back, but there are a few players out. Where Paqueta.
Who got sold? Who did they sell? Not Benrahma.
Well, I don't know, because he got sent off. And I don't know.
Who's got Leon?
I'm not sure if it's actually happened. I can't lie, I haven't done a huge amount of research, but I just looked at who was out. And Benrahma won't be playing. Miguel Antonio is out, and Paqueta's out. Good news this Monday.
Yeah, when you look at their striker situation, it's key. I mean, Antonio being out, he used to sort of be the main man up front. I don't know if I felt that he wasn't in favour. They've always been looking to sort of replace him because of his age, but he's a big nuisance, isn't he? Because of his power and strength. Since then, they put the guy from Hull, left-footed guy. What's his name again?
Jared Bowen.
Bowen there. He's been playing it in and around there. And with Paqueta as well, being that link guy, he's a fantastic player. Man City wanted him. He's key. He's a key loss for them. So Ben Rama has kind of been coming back into the side. They got Fornals. They got all these sort of good, decent sort of attacking midfielders in the side, but no one who's a predator up front. They sold the Italian guy, didn't they? The striker they had, sent him back to Italy. He wasn't getting much game time. So they've got an issue with scoring goals and having a main striker. And it's good for us in a way. I know Kudos has come in the side and done bits, but I think everyone would have done their data on him. It's not like he's an unknown anymore. People know about him. He's made his statement now. So I'm sure Ten Hag and the boys will be sort of, if he is playing, will be sort of doing their homework on him. So I don't, like you say, I don't see them getting him behind us and really stretching us and causing our centre backs too much problem when they've got guys like Bowen who are sort of fake strikers playing up there.
Fake striker.
Yeah, and Kudos scored against us, didn't he?
He did, I think.
Yeah.
Left-footed.
All
right, should we have a look at the comments? We've got Bilal saying Amrabat, which I really like. We've got Steph saying Moyes will put out his usual brick wall, try and hit us on the break. United need to score first, second, and third goals. That would be absolutely delightful, Steph. And we've got 9 likes apparently, which is good. But Matty Bassett, some people say Fabrizio Romano is the greatest transfer correspondent. For me, it's Matthew Bassett. And he is saying that none of the West Ham deals went through. So Benrahma is still a West Ham player. Paqueta was meant to be joining Betis and Benrahma to Lyon, but it didn't happen. And I think Bart's got a troll for us here. The best thing that can happen to Kobe Minu this summer would be get a full summer's rest, not go to Germany's for the Euros. But yeah, I'm happy with that. England don't need Minu, and he better not go to. Is it Ghana that are after him today?
He won't go. He won't go. I don't think he'll go Ghana. I think he'll choose England.
Yeah. I mean, like. We've not had many sort of like in the under 21s at least. We have very few United players like playing for England under senior level. Like it'd be nice to get a few more of them like in like the teams, because the England teams winning everything at every level now, and a lot of it without United players. But that discretion aside, I've looked how West Ham set up a Monday, and I've just seen that I've covered one of their names that I typed out with a football, which is a bit of an amateur error. What do you think to this? What do you think to this team?
Yeah, a few problems. They got a bit of balance there at left back with the guy Palermi. Johnson, best Ben Johnson, not the steroid cheat from Canada in '88.
Come on,
it's a young player, Ben Johnson, who's good, solid player, but he's not outstanding. I don't believe, but he comes in and out the side. And they've got the Czech guy, haven't they? Souček, who plays there at right back. Not Souček, sorry, that's the guy in midfield. You know the Czech guy. They bought Souček with
Sofal?
Sofal, that's the guy, I think, yeah, at right back, who's decent again. So I don't think they're outstanding. I just think they're well organised. And credit to Moyes, creating a good squad, where especially they used the money well with the sale of Rice. They brought in, as you can see, free kick maestro and kept Souček in midfield, who's a big player. He's very physical, a bit like McTominay, the physical side of things. And they are a physical side, as you can see. And Bowen's been outstanding for them this season with Kudos as well. So I think if you can contain them, especially being at home as well, there's no real lightning quick player up front. There's no real creative force, which they've lost with the Brazilian Paqueta. And I think we can manage what they've got there if we just organise ourselves correctly. This is a winnable game against a solid side and a team that we should be beating, all things considered. So I think they're a good side, but nothing to say I'm really pooing my pants about, you know? So
none of those players scare you?
No, they don't. Look, if we set up well and we tight, if they got the ball and they're having a little 15 minutes, put a little pressure on, we just got to be secure on set pieces, make sure they don't get in behind us, which I don't think they will. They're not going to play through us if we set up correctly. I think we'll be all right.
I mean, we've been disastrous on set pieces, and we let some farmers play through us recently. I mean,
and the whole West Ham team is 7 foot.
Well, this was my next question for you, Mr. B, is that when you look at Souček, Phillips and Alvarez, that's a pretty meaty, that's a meaty centre of the park. They're all big, strong boys that can tackle and knock you about a bit.
Yeah, but if we play the game right and we don't get involved in the physical battles, pass and move. No, it's obvious. It is an obvious instruction. But you can play in there without getting hit and without getting into the physical battle. So it's going to be interesting what he lines up with. It's going to be interesting what Ten Hag lines up with on Sunday.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that with the solo 11. I just want to do some comments here. All right, Bart, I'll show you your comment. He's saying that maybe England aren't winning things because United players aren't part of it. Brilliant. Tyrone Williams, United will need to stop Ward-Prowse from playing. He is their best player. I also think that what we've got to do is not concede silly fouls. Like, the quality of his free kicks and corners can keep you under pressure for a good 5 minutes. Martinez is not particularly big. Onana, I don't know what he does on crosses, but I think, it's very easy to say, but set pieces from West Ham, I think, are going to be an issue. But Sam McTominay is the most moist player in the United squad. It's a shame that United's top scorer this season isn't currently playing for the Irons. I give you a B+ for that, Bart. Tyrone Williams, Tyrone, my man. United cannot afford to give free kicks close to our goal. Ward-Prowse will score past our keeper with ease. Best set piece taker in the Prem. No stupid free kicks, please. I couldn't agree more. Bilal is saying that the Newport player was an actual farmer. And we've got... Sorry?
We said that yesterday. You said
that.
Yeah,
he was. Good at like farmers, backbone of the economy. David Saar, United will be 2-0 up, half-time. Then Ten Hag will make 3 changes, bring on Evan Maguire and McTominay. West Ham win 3-2. Imagine. And we've got 14 likes. Do you know what, right? Instead of a like, I'd just much prefer it if you just told someone that there's this really cool channel about United. Don't watch that channel, watch the Man United agenda instead. Like, well worth your time. All right, what's next? The Danger Men. Right, Mr. B. Which of these men is the most dangerous?
Kudos.
All right, why?
I just think he's everything that our left wing is not. Direct, Caesar pass, great left foot, not too bad right foot. Yeah, I like him a lot, man. I like him a lot. I think it's gonna be him. Bowen, I don't think is gonna be as dangerous just because of the position that he's gonna have to be playing in. And Ward-Prowse, if we don't give away too much fouls, there's not really much he can do. So yeah, I'm gonna say Kudos, to be fair.
Okay, Amonde. Amonde, tell us who these men are first, I suppose.
You got Bowen, Kudos, and Ward-Prowse, but I'm going to go Kudos as well. I agree with Mr. B. I think what I've been fascinated by recently is that we say Premiership's physical league is very strong, and tactics rule now and systems rule now, that's kind of thing. But still doesn't take away that quite often, like when you're playing under 10s football, you sometimes get a big player that everyone's scared of, and you can just run past people. Don't develop the game and just have that physicality and use that totally, and it never has to change. When you get to men's football, everything balances out. People grow, people get strong, and that kind of thing. But I'm really impressed. There's 3 players I'm going to name here: Moussa Dembele for Spurs and Fulham. And yesterday, Cunha does it as well. And I'm also going to add this guy to the list in the middle, the big Ghanaian. People that can just drop a shoulder and just drift past you, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to just accept that they're going to run past you, drop a shoulder, and dribble past you. They're big, they're strong, and they will bounce you off. And you just have to be mindful and just double up on these guys. I think it's very rare these days. I've seen players like that. Cunha yesterday was magnificent. He was a scary player. And this guy, Kudos, has got that about him as well. Strong, physical, and he's making us look like under 10s again. And that big guy playing for the under 10s. So I like him. I think that's the threat that he poses. The other two can be managed, I believe. Good players, but they're not. If Ward-Prowse, as you say, is playing on the left wing or inside forward or whatever, that means to me they're just going to sit back in the back five, midfield five, and he's not going to be bursting Dalot for pace or anything like that. He's just going to be trying to link up and play football for us, which I think we can manage. But that guy in the middle, look at those thighs. Look at those thighs. Look at the strength. He's like a brick wall. You know, he's probably toned and ripped to shreds. You know, when he take off his shirt, he's just a beast of a player. And I'll have to respect people like that who can do that at the physical pro level, just drift past you like you're not even there.
Yeah, I mean, Moussa Dembele is one of the most underrated footballers I think the Premier League's ever seen. He was an absolute dream. But so I suppose what you're telling me here, Amonde, is that Kudos is in some ways a bit similar to someone like Duncan Ferguson, where you can't expect to compete with him physically and meet with success. So you have to set up around him.
Yeah. But different. Obviously, Duncan in the air and strength. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, same thing. But that's why I used the example of Cunha yesterday. Cunha, the amount of times he sort of drifted past players with ease. Same thing applies with Mohamed Kudos or whatever. That strong, beastful players, and respect that.
And have you seen the secret message that I've used these men to spell out?
All right, so we've got B, K.
It's more about their body language, Amonde.
All right, Y, M, C. That's my I work for them. We've got give us a W. Is that a W?
That's a W.
Yeah, W.
Think the Karate Kid.
Wax on, wax off.
Yes, wax. I got them. This was for Big T, but he's not here. But I made them spell wax with the W and A and an X.
With A, okay. Ah, good one.
I was hoping that you might pick up on that on Monday, as you're such a body language expert.
I see it now. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So waxing lyrical. I've also got some stats. Don't worry, this won't be too much. But this is earlier on. I think Stephanie Griffiths was talking about hitting people on the break. So but that's what we call that a rest attack or a transition. And I've looked at the 4 players in the rest attack that basically contribute it to the most. So you can see Ward-Prowse is where the assists come from, and Bowen applies the final touch with Souček and Kudos sort of put in a movement out wide. So it's going to be interesting to see how we set up to deal with these players when we do invariably lose the ball. Mr. B, how would you handle these 4 players?
Kick them.
Yeah, you think kicking Souček is the way forward?
I don't think Souček's going to be the issue. I think it's going to be the top 3. I don't see they have anything running in behind us. I just don't see that is going to be the way that they're going to get past us tomorrow. If they get past us tomorrow, I don't think we have anything to worry about. I know you talk about stopping them. I think the team. I think it'll be a team thing that keeps the ball away from them, not necessarily focusing on holding Bowen or stopping Kudos from running in or going past the player on the right. I just think that the system's going to control limiting these guys to playing where they want to be playing tomorrow on Sunday.
All right, Amonde, anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with Mr. B. I think you just got to I made a point yesterday. So when I saw Martinez play yesterday, he was really proactive in seeing a guy running off the ball. This is what they're going to have to do to break us down. We just need to go with our runners and anticipate things and stop them from playing. If you stand in front of these guys and you've got numbers behind the ball, I don't see them playing through us. But if you start, getting outnumbered in situations or, having people run off the ball and not going with them, that's where they can open you up. And that's what they're trying to do. Wait for set pieces and sort of do a Spurs on us where we're not going with the runners and picking up spaces in between the lines. That's how I think they're going to try and play it. And I think we're at the stage now with the momentum from the other day and the discipline that we need and we've got something to fight for. I think we've got to go out there and just be make sure we concentrate and and stop them from playing. Because they've only, I think they've got two main ways of playing. Like you said here, talking about how they play and open us up, and also set pieces. Just cancel that out, and we will create chances. Look how many chances we created yesterday. So I don't think it's a case of when we're doing our homework on West Ham that we should be worrying about many factors of how they in many dangers. There's two ways: set pieces and trying to open us up and not going with our runners. We stop that out. Let's talk about our positives and how we created. We could have won by 6-7 goals yesterday against a good Wolves side.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that sort of that struck me from these stats was actually Kudos, where if you look at Kudos, he's got 6 goals and his expected goals is 2. So he's got 4 over over what you would statistically expect him to get, which means that boy is a top quality finisher. And we really need to be careful of him because any chance he's gonna make the most of from these stats. But I think we'll skip this. I had this slide last week. It's about the different roles of the midfield, but because Mr. B's here, he doesn't like this sort of thing. We'll go straight on to players that I think are in danger of losing their place and need to stick in a performance. So, Mr. B, am I being unfair here, or am I expecting too much from these players?
Yeah.
Have they?
Varane, I don't see a problem with Varane. His cover is Maguire. I think when everybody's fit, the system order is going to return to what it was. And I think his first choice is Varane and Martinez. It would be interesting to see Maguire and Martinez. Now Maguire's confident enough to be playing in the team without just being able to play his game. He's played his way through all of the headache and all of the bullshit that he was getting. He's now, I'm going to say he's a world class, but he's now back to a level where I don't mind if he starts. I wouldn't have that fear that he's going to make that mistake again. He may well do, but I wouldn't have that fear. Casemiro, I think you're being very harsh on Casemiro.
Yeah.
He takes his time to get himself going. I'm hoping the rest of the team not can cover him, but can step up until he reaches his peak or his level. I mean, it might not come. It might be that the level that he showed before he got injured is now the Casemiro that we've got, in which case then he will be gone in the summer because the club will be monitoring that. Onana, he's not going to drop him. Unless he gets injured, he's not going to drop him. Onana's going to play, and he is a big problem for us. And Garnacho, I'm surprised. I'm really, really surprised that you've got Garnacho down. Do you really think Garnacho needs a performance bath time?
I do, because I think that with the striker situation we're in, we've got 4 forwards now. So we've got like Anthony, Rashford, Rasmus, and Garnacho for 3 places. And because I don't think Forson is anywhere near ready to start, we're always going to have one of these on the bench to bring on, and probably to move Rashford central. So I think that I didn't think Garnacho was particularly good. I don't think he's been very good for the last 3 or 4 games. Anthony was dreadful, to be honest, in his cameo appearance. Dreadful.
Yeah.
But I think that there is. I think that Garnacho really needs to start stepping things up and producing now.
Do you think it could be he's getting comfortable knowing that he's going to be starting now? Because it's either Rashford, Garnacho, or Anthony. And let's be honest, none of us are going to be starting Anthony. If we know that, maybe he knows that as well. Do you think he could be off the board? I mean, this is a question I'm asking. I don't see a problem with Garnacho, to be fair, but I'm just asking, do you think that could be going on in his head maybe?
Maybe. I mean, the thing is that there are 4 replacements for these players where, I mean, Maguire, before he got injured, won Player of the Month. And I think that Varane has been poor in the last 2 or 3 games. My only issue is I don't rate Martinez defending wide areas. Even against Wolves, I was a bit worried by it. And Varane is the best central defender we have for that. And Maguire is probably the worst we have for defending wide areas. Casemiro, you've got Eriksen and McTominay like breathing down his neck. So I think that if he doesn't get up to form quickly, he'll be replaced. Onana, I don't know what the man has to do to be dropped. Right. I don't know. And with Garnacho, like we've moved Palestri on. I'm not sure what's going on with Amat, but I think that he's really got to show why he's in the team, because he took that ridiculous shot against Newport instead of crossing it. I think he made poor decisions in the game yesterday, like not cutting across his man.
You see the game yesterday? Do you think I looked at it and I actually thought that he was trying to make a concerted effort to pass players in? Do you think that might be affecting his game now? Whereas before he was always instinctive. You know, he didn't have to think about what he's doing. And now he's probably had the criticism from Bruno publicly. And maybe in training now, this is an instruction that do you think that could be, you know, giving him that split second where he would normally run, oh, I've got to make the pass, or, you know, there was one of them, he made a pass. I'm sure he made the pass in the game, and I thought maybe he should have run. And I'm thinking maybe he's trying to play the players in now, to play his role.
Yeah, I mean, like as a young player, normally what happens is they come in and they set the world alight, and then they don't quite have the experience for like top end football. So they get a bit of coaching, and you go through this stage where it's not natural. You have to think about what you're doing, and it gets in your head a little bit. And maybe Garnacho is at that point, but he's got to step it up, because these are all great players and we all love them, but we are Manchester United and we need top level performances. We're having a lot of problems at the moment, and we need everyone to start pulling together. So just before I get to you, Amonde, and you are muted, I'm just going to look at the comments, because to be perfectly honest, Bart has succeeded in winding up the whole chat. So they're just talking. They're just talking to Bart. But we got Steph saying, as Amat used to say, don't worry about them too much. Let's let them worry about us. And we also can't be wasteful. And we've got DK Wilson, coming straight out of Georgia, said they play workhorse football, don't they? Rough, don't relent easily. They'll be up for it. Bowen works hard, can be dangerous. I think that's a great comment, that with West Ham, you have to be switched on all game or they'll get you. And we've got Bart saying Casemiro and Lucha could get stuck in, possibly get a card or two. Yeah. And we've got the lawman, Pat's in the house, saying he thinks that Varane and Casemiro are improving. Onana needs a run with a consistent back four that includes Martinez and a fit Garnacho. A fit Varane,
so, Pat,
yeah?
Sorry, do you think this is just for Pat if he's still, do you think Onana was at fault for any of the goals yesterday? I don't think it matters what you've got in front of him, because he still makes errors that goalies shouldn't make. He doesn't make the saves that you expect top level goalies to make. So I'm really not sure. And you know, when the defenders didn't trust Maguire, they were doing things that covered for him, so they weren't able to play their own game. I'm wondering if it's going to get to the stage with Onana. Think about Leach's goal line clearance. He knew Onana was going to miss the ball. He knew he was going to miss the ball. You think that they're going to end up having to be, you know, I want him to be good. I want him to, just so that you can stick it to all those people, all the haters. But I just don't think he's going to come good. I really, really don't. I don't see anything in his performances that make you feel all right. It's just a blip.
All right, Mr. B, there's one reason why I think he might come good. All right, and it's everyone, like back when we had De Gea, we used to talk about this all the time, about how the top managers, Klopp, Arteta, Pep, changed their goalkeepers, right? Pep changed 2 goalkeepers in 12 months. One was Joe Hart and the other one was Bravo, I think. When Joe Hart went to Italy. I don't know how well known this is, but within about a month, a scouting report got leaked from an Italian club about how Joe Hart was incredibly weak at the near post with his left hand. And every Italian team just spammed him with near post shots all the time. And it really affected Joe Hart because whenever, like, you know, a striker was lining up to apply the finish, that was in his head that they were going to try near post, and sometimes he'd overcompensate and things like that. But the Italian teams worked Joe Hart out quite quickly. They didn't do that to Onana. Onana performed really well in Italy, primarily as a ball distributor, but he wasn't a calamity like in nets. And so what I'm hoping is that Onana is struggling a little bit at the moment and needs to go back to basics, because he has produced some good saves. Like he did, you know, he saved a penalty in the Champions League game, and he's very unorthodox, but it cost 50 million. We got to stick with him. And now I think that with this so-called best back four of Dalot, Shaw, Martinez, and Varane, this is why we need performances. Because if he can't perform with them in front of him and he can't get their respect and trust, he's got to go. So it's kind of now or never, really, for him. Monday, you're still muted, but feel free to pop in at any point.
Yeah, good chat. Good thing about the Joe Hart as well. And you're right. I was going to come on here and defend Onana. I think he's been good for us this season. I know people.
On Monday,
I think he has.
He single-handedly kicked us out of the Champions League.
Yeah,
not even handedly. He single-fistedly because
I
he
agree.
didn't use his hand.
But, I agree. He's made a lot of mistakes, but I do think he's also been good. He's been a complete contrast to what we had before with the distribution. There's been times in games this season where I've seen us, usually when we would be under pressure, trying to get the ball out, and he's got that composure, and no one wants to get done by him. They become a meme if you run in there and slide in and get twisted up by Onana. You know, you can feel it with players. We're trying to close him down. They think, shall I? Nah, he's just going to cut me in half here. And they don't. And he drops a shoulder. He's very good at that. So he gives a bit of calm. And I like that. But maybe he's a bit too calm at times when, you know, people are shooting or whatever. I do fear for his sort of, even yesterday, a shot came at him and he's put his hands out and it's still popped out. And if someone's running, he could have cleared it off. So there's still mistakes there. But all I'm saying is, I don't think he should be dropped. You can't. He's got so much confidence, and the way he comes back and the way he speaks as well. I remember he made a mistake early in the season, and he came out and said, "It's my fault. I'll take that on the chin." You know, I like his character, and I think with this, we need to sort of stick behind the guy, get behind him. He gives us something very positive with the distribution, and hopefully we can work on the other issues that they claim he has. But I think he's a good all-round goalkeeper. Yesterday with Neto's goal, which really was heartbreaking because if we got a draw in the end, that would have been a nightmare. But it went through Varane's legs, and sometimes you can be a bit, you know.
What's a big gap there, though, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a big gap, but sometimes when it goes through the keeper's legs, there's not much you can do about it. When it goes through a defender's legs like that, I have to give respect to Neto because he's realised if I shoot, the goal is going to save it. But if I shoot between his legs, there's a chance.
It was a really good finish.
Yeah,
like, really he did what Kobe did. He used the defender as a screen. But...
Exactly, and the defender. So I'm leading on to Varane now. Maybe has had a bit of an issue lately, a couple poor games. But I always think to myself, bruv, you should never let the ball go through your legs like that. He went to shoot. You know he's going to cut onto his left foot, and he jumped. He stretched his leg, and he was used and abused by playing it through his legs like that. Sometimes you just got to stand up, knowing the keeper will save everything there. Don't allow that to happen. Varane could be a bit under pressure based on the form of Evans, the form of Maguire. Mm-hmm. And this is a good thing because we've got a good squad now. And these players should keep on their toes like a midget in the urinal. They do need to keep on their toes.
Urinal?
Yes.
Urinal.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. So
Oh shit! I just realised what it sounded like. He said, "Yeah." You said that. Sorry. Let me
sorry,
shut up.
urinal, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, a lavatory stand-up, Pete. So I do think all these players, senior players, Casemiro, should be kept on their toes. But Casemiro coming back, I've seen some positives. Regardless of everything, he's got the experience. He needs to play. I know there's criticism and all that kind of thing, but I watched him yesterday and I thought, yeah, man, this is a player, a proper player, experienced player, like Bath Time is in his league, a big experienced midfielder who knows everything about the game, you know, and he proved that yesterday with his performance. So I'm glad he's back. Hopefully he can get back into fitness. All the other guys, yeah, damn right, they should be kept on their toes because there should be someone at a good club who's performing well and in good form. There always should be someone on your back trying to take your place.
Yeah, and like, look, Steph is agreeing with you, saying Anana will come good, but what year is uncertain at this stage. And we got Sim. It's two Jags. It's lovely to see you again. Minu needs to keep his feet on the ground. No big contracts. Just keep progressing. The hype has to stop. He's 18. Let him grow. It will all come to him. I couldn't agree more. Like, if we had a bigger squad and Ferguson as manager, I'd be quite surprised if he started against West Ham in those conditions. Like, Fergie always used to do this after a big performance. He'd take the youngster out, like make him go and park with the youth team. But Tyrone Williams, I've backed Anthony ever since he joined United, but perhaps it's time for me to admit defeat. I mean, Tyrone, what does Anthony have to do for you to accept defeat? I mean, I don't know. Like, look, Pat, Tyrone agree, man. Watching him is like pulling teeth now. And DK Wilson is saying, how did anyone notice when Minu scored, he waved off Anthony? And when the team was around Kobe, Anthony was outside of the circle and walked away first. We talked about that at the start, DK Wilson. This is why punctuality is incredibly important.
We're becoming a body language show. I mean,
yeah,
we're in on it as well.
And Tyrone is saying that Schmeichel was the best keeper I ever saw until Peter Cech arrived. Before his head injury, he was literally unstoppable. He's the main reason Chelsea were so hard to beat under Jose. And I agree, a good goalkeeper is very important. But I think times have changed where the second goal that we scored yesterday once again came from playing out from the back. Like, we're getting much better creating chances from our own goal kicks. Like, so there is huge value to Anana. It's just he's got to do the basics. Like, he's got to be able to clear balls, punch. You can't have Martinez and Varane with ulcers because they don't know what he's doing. And like, I mean, his best save yesterday came off his nose. Like, unreal. Have we got any other ones here? It's everyone's favourite Westlife girl. It's Dora. Hello, Dora. I hope you're doing well.
I hope you're in your house and you haven't made a trip 40 miles west. Wink, wink.
Anana gives us nothing. He's a statue. Right, so what's Dora saying? Defending was poor, but Anana always stays rooted in these situations. At least throw yourself somewhere. And we've got Rich Sports in the house. Everyone go and subscribe to Rich Sports. He's normally on before us and has a very fun stream. All right. It's that time now, boys. We've all been waiting for it. It is your solo 11. So who's this? That's Anana coming up the stairs.
I thought it was Amrabat.
Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. Amrabat. This is Anana. It's fallen down the stairs. I know. We do sound effects now, lads. All right. This is exactly the same team that started against whoever we played yesterday. Wolves. Right. You've got a Wolf with you there, Amonde. Are you happy to just see the same lads go out and perform again?
Yeah, big up Solo. You've done it again. I totally agree with every player there. Enough time to rest. See you on Sunday. And with that starting 11, no issues for me whatsoever.
You don't want to see Maguire?
No, especially, look, we got a squad. How are you going to mix up and change the defence? after yesterday. We've got a win. It's a winning, regardless of conceding 3 goals or whatever, we still won. Don't mess up the defense too much. Stick with that. Luke Shaw's back. I thought he performed pretty well, like you said yesterday in the post-match show about him linking up with Rashford. Luke Shaw, the overlapping. I mean, look, this guy, everyone says he's a bit of a custard eater, likes his custard donuts, as you say, bath time. But he can get up and down. He gets up and down, and you wouldn't expect that for someone like him. He's kind of built like you. You would say you're built like him, bath time. Solid. Stocky. Solid.
Yeah, definitely stocky.
And can run. So he's got the same characteristics as you. He's built like you, big, strong, solid, and he can get up and down and overlap when needed to. And he's probably the fittest guy by doing that in the team. So I like Luke Shaw coming back in the side. You know what? Dora said something. Dora, I'm sorry if you're watching. I don't want to disrespect you because you know I like you. But you said something negative the other day, and I was really gritting my teeth about Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, I think, has probably got one of the best touches in the team. When I say best touches, like you pinging the ball, his first touch will be playing into his run. So you pinging the ball, first touch, he's going to bring it down under control and play and run onto it and keep running with it. He's magnificent. I've seen him do it so many times. Wow, you're something special. And I'm going to put it out here. I said this a couple of years ago when he scored in the Euros and after that sort of period. There's not many great left backs in the world football right now. Luke Shaw's got to be in the top 5, top 10 left backs in world football. If not, I'm saying top 5, definitely. I can't think of many players better than him as a left-footed left back. Only the guy from Bayern, maybe Bayern Munich, the Canadian. Apart from that, I just think he's magnificent and he deserves his dues. He's been there a long time. And I'm really, really happy with him. And just to add my final point on this team, I think Martinez was really good yesterday as well. He gives us that little bite and that edge. And when we got possession as well, he gives us a bit more class with the ball, distribution with the ball. When he's got the ball, it's on. Seriously, it's on. We can spray it short, long, and people don't rush him because they know what a great little player he is. So I'm happy with that team. Over to you, Mr. B.
Well, I want to first of all say, Armando, that's very unfair what you've done there. Like calling Dora out when she's not here to reply.
That's why I did it. The saga continues next week. Well, I might get a phone call. Knowing their connections,
Mr. B, bring some sanity.
Not changing it. Absolutely delighted that Solo's gone with this team. I said I might buy Menando's for that. I think it's perfect. I don't think it needs changing. Nothing at all. Keep it as long as everybody's fit and nobody's carrying a knock. Play this team. No problem at all.
Are we not worried about the time frame?
No, because then they've got 7 days rest after. They've got 7 days rest after this one. So I would play them. He knows he can trust the subs. Well, we've got subs that can be brought on now. Bar Forson in the position that Forson would be covering. So no, I would go with it and I wouldn't worry about the rest. Give them the hour. Some of these players need game time in their legs anyway. Yeah. Casemiro definitely does. Martinez definitely does. Shaw definitely does. So get them in. And let them run themselves for the hour. And then if something needs to be changed, make a change then. But no, I would stick with it bath time.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, for me, like I always think about it from the player's point of view. Like, I'm not a manager or a coach. I still identify as a player. I think that after conceding 3 goals, it's difficult to tell people like Maguire that, we had a game 3 days ago. You're not going to play. I think that we might see some changes. I'm interested if Rashford starts at Old Trafford. You'd assume he'd get a decent reception. But if he'd been dropped against West Ham, if he'd been dropped against Wolves and he started at Old Trafford, it would be interesting to see how the crowd reacted to him. So maybe that's actually quite good management from Ten Hag, getting him in against Wolves and having him scoring. But I'd expect a few changes or very early substitutes. Because the other thing you have to remember is that all these boys that played last night wouldn't have trained today. And that's a day of training that's been missed to prepare for this game. So it wouldn't surprise me if there were 2 or 3 changes.
But do you think West Ham wouldn't have trained either, though?
Yeah, but I mean, West Ham are West Ham, aren't they? Like they're not. They're away from home and they're looking to get a 1-0 on the break. Basically, that like it what they always do in big games. We're at home. We've got to break down a really low block that's incredibly physical. We're going to have to sort of work more on our movements and specific kind of like in-game set pieces to open them up. And we're going to miss a day's training with that team. So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw 1 or 2 players coming in. But I also wouldn't have too many complaints if that's the team that went out, because that first half is the best first half we've seen from United since Solskjaer's COVID days.
Yeah.
But should we have a look at some comments, gang?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So first of all, Cake Cadet, how are you, Cake Cadet? He wouldn't be against resting Varane for Maguire. And Jeff Vesco, our favourite referee, is really excited to be on the takeaway tonight, which is that in an hour, Mr. B?
No,
It's in half an hour. It's in half an hour.
Oh, blimey. Who have you got on tonight?
Jeff, are you coming on? I sent him a message, and my phone's in the other side of the room, so I don't even know if he's answered me. But Stoney's on, and Anthony Herbert's on so far. So Jeff, yeah, if you are available, Jeff, then yeah, I'll send you the link. If not, then it's all good. Oh, well, he is all good. Yeah, I see. I have no problem. I'll send you the link in a second, mate.
All right. Steph is saying that Aaron Wan-Bissaka instead of Delo and Ahmad instead of Garnacho would be bold changes to the Wolves game. I think that Aaron Wan-Bissaka still isn't fully fit, although I agree Delo has played a hell of a lot of football and wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to take him out for a game or 2. Right, Amonde. The only problem I have with Shaw is his ability to stay fit.
Myth. That's a myth.
All right, myth busting Amonde. And Kate Cadet is agreeing with you, Amonde, on your take that Shaw is a top 5 left back. Pat is saying Luke Shaw's touch is so good, he gets no crumbs from his bag of sausage rolls when he's in drinks.
Jeez.
I have to say, there was a moment in the second half yesterday where Shaw beat 2 men with just having a brilliant first touch. He headed it and then towed it past someone. He's got such great quality on the ball. I personally just think that he needs to create more chances for people. Like we don't get a lot of good crosses from Luke Shaw from sort of half spaces and from a bit deeper. And because it's always from the touchline, he leaves us a little bit exposed. Eriksen would be a good shout. Like, do you think we could see Eriksen coming in, or is he gone, Mr. B?
I don't see any game that Eriksen starts this season ahead of, but especially Casemiro and Minu. I just don't see him starting. I don't see him starting a game. The Premier League's too competitive. He could start in the what's the FA Cup game? Who we got in the FA Cup? Somebody not very good, right?
Sheffield. Aren't Bristol playing Sheffield United on Wednesday? I think it's Sheffield United we're most likely to face, isn't it?
Or is it Forest? No, it's Forest, isn't it?
Forest, yeah. You're right. It is Forest.
He could start against Forest. He could start against Forest, maybe.
But what you're saying is he's a cover player now. If Bruno's injured or needs a rest, like maybe 100%. Bring on to change a game.
The thing is, if he's being brought on to change a game, it means that we're under pressure. He doesn't do under pressure very well now. His legs don't cope with that. I see him more playing in a game where we're going to be dominating the football. And if we're dominating the football, would he be coming on to change the game in that regard? I just don't see a place for Eriksen. I just don't see a place for Eriksen in the team.
I think Eriksen's probably a finisher now, where like if it's sort of like 2-1 and it's a bit tight and scrappy, Eriksen looks after the ball better than most of our midfielders. Really, only Kobe is the only other player that like respects keeping the ball. So I think that if there's 15 minutes to go and we're under pressure, bringing Eriksen on isn't the worst thing in the world, because the ball's going to stick. He's going to play it sensibly. And we've seen him come on and do this a few times, where his whole role is just to keep the ball and see the game out. And that's kind of how I see him now, as a calming influence in tempestuous matches. Like, Amonde, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, Eriksen, I'm not going to disrespect him. He wants to play. I heard a quote from him recently where he's a bit disappointed he's not getting first team football and he wants to play. So I'm sure he's going to be disappointed. But that shows a good pro and he knows his ability. I think he still thinks he can offer something to the side. He's top quality. And like once again, we're coming back to the point. 5 subs, good squads, the good squads which we've got now, which we didn't really have at the start of the season. There's been so many injuries and issues. We should be confident now with what we're talking about. We're talking about Eriksen, where he should get inside. He would walk into a lot of sides in the Premier League, even now. Quality player, we know what he's got, but we want to see good squad size, and we've got that right now. So we can rotate. If someone is weighing in towards the end of the game, he can come on, no problem. So yeah, I'm really pleased about the squad issues, and finally we're having a conversation about that and talking about players not playing, rather than looking at the bench and thinking, oh God, we're struggling here. So the only issue I've got right now is with the striker. We didn't buy anyone. The manager said in the press conference, he took Rasmus off because he said the word DEAD. He said he was DEAD, whether it's a Dutch thing, but it sounds a bit brutal. But clearly we need to take care of this guy if he's going to be starting every game, because I don't think what he does in the game is running. He's going to be DEAD in a couple of weeks if he continues like this.
Well, I suppose we do only have one game a week, but Rasmus, we signed him with the potential of quite a serious injury where he's got something with his back, isn't it? His bones are fusing or whatever. But we have to manage the squad, and maybe we see Bruno go to a sort of false 9 or something for 10 or 15 minutes. But Stephanie is shouting you out Monday. You're not stupid.
I'm talking about Dora. I'm not stupid to talk about Dora when she's not here. Right.
And Sim is saying that he thinks Ndogi at Tottenham is better than Shaw.
Too early. Looking good though.
Yeah, he does look a good player, doesn't he? And have we got anything else here? We've got DK Wilson saying maybe Eriksen can start this game, give Kobe the first half off. I'd actually be behind that. I would love to rest Kobe for this game, but I don't think it's possible. Pat is saying he loves Eriksen, but he hasn't got the legs after 50 to 60 minutes. And we've got Pat, which rather worryingly, he's agreeing with Bart, saying he's so cool on the ball, he can bring a nice, calm finish to a comfortable lead.
One more. We were talking about Eriksen. I want to say Senghor Eriksen. I know he's ill, he's not given long to live, but really sad news that really touched me. He's done a lot for football in Italy and for England as well. So big up to him and his family, and just watch his space.
Also, big up to Doug, who some of you may or may not know. He's a Liverpool fan that operates in the same circles of us. He was recently on Sky News because he proposed that Sven-Göran Eriksson should coach the Liverpool legends. After Sven said that his big regret was not managing Liverpool. So,
agreed.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Doug. He did it came from social media, and he's done a really good thing. As I think it's going to happen. So shout out to Doug. Right. Lastly, gentlemen, for a nice, calm finish, score predictions. Mr. B, you're muted. What are we looking at? 7-0, 8-0?
No, I'll go 3-0. I'll go 3-1. I'm quite confident that we now found a scoring. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to try and explain it. I'll be waffling for too long, and I'll probably go around in a big circle, and just tell me to shut my mouth because I'm talking rubbish. So no, I'll go 3-1.
Who's
as
scoring?
long as he starts with that team. Oh, Højlund scoring again.
Okay.
Højlund scoring again, yeah, 100%. I'm not sure about the rest, but 100% Højlund scores tomorrow.
All right. A Monday.
Yeah, go with a 1-0 win against West Ham. Oh, come on, guys. I'm serious. I'm serious. I think
you know what, Monday, and that's what makes it so funny, because we know you're bloody serious, bro. We know you're serious.
I think
God.
we do score. Yesterday was a bit of an exception, but we do sort of win by a single goal. Actually, yesterday was an exception because we did win by a single goal. But we won by a single goal yesterday. We're going to win by a single goal again. I actually want to see the result. West Ham, you know it's going to be tough to break down, but let's just keep working at them. Keep it nice and secure at the back as well. Stop them from breaking or having set pieces, and get that goal, and then manage that goal all the way out without any heart attacks. Excuse me, I shouldn't say it with Erik's in our team, but without any sort of flutters or anything at the end of the game. And in-game management's important. I think Barfran would tell you that as well. What we saw yesterday, people said, that was a bit shocking, bringing Maguire on and Evans and, messing it around towards the end of the game. But I thought it was good management by the manager. The subs have been decent for me, but people might disagree.
Well, I think the in-game management part was sending all those subs up for a corner. And like when you see proper football teams like Man City, they mess about on the side of the pitch, wasting time. I don't think anyone had issues with substitutions. It was just how reckless Ten Hag was. But I mean, for me personally, I'm going 2-0. I think a goal in each half, a bit like a Monday. I'm hoping that the team and the manager has learned that you need to be calmer and see things out and stuff, because we repeatedly let Wolves into the game by not killing them off and by committing too many people ahead of the ball when we didn't need to. And surely, I think Ten Hag came out and said that he loved the result, but he was devastated by the performance. And I think that that's what he was referring to, was just how naive we were. But should we look at some comments about score predictions here, boys? Yes. Matty Bassett is going for 3-2. An exciting game.
Yeah, talking to myself, sorry.
Yeah. Jeff is he's picking a Mr. B. He's going for a 3-1. Bart is going 2-1. Casemiro gets a card and a nervy finish. Yes, please, no sendings off. If Casemiro can get a card in the 70th minute instead of the second, that would be great. Steph is saying, I don't know what she's saying, another goal or two, 3-1 United. There we are. She's mixed up numerals and alphanumerics there, which confused me. Bilal, he wants to pour water on a Monday's fire. We won't win by a 2-goal margin.
We will, 100%. 100% we win by 2 goals, over 2 goals.
Okay. DK Wilson says this might be tough. If we convert chances, 3-1. If we don't, 1-1. Kate Cadet is saying, how can you trust this team to defend a 1-0 lead on Monday?
Oh, you want me to respond to that?
You don't have to.
No, I don't know. I'll say keep quiet. I'm going to be cool and calm like Clarence Minu.
You sort of look like a brilliant pirate tonight on Monday with that cap on, and instead of a parrot, you got a dog. Like, I feel we're about to sail the high seas together.
Ahoy!
What's a pirate's favourite letter on Monday?
I know this. Hold on. I'll tell you in a minute. Carry on the comments.
All right.
No.
Pat is saying 4-2 win. Rashford to get to Bruno and Højlund to get the other ones. And I'm not really sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
Favourite letters, I, Captain.
No, it's the C.
Oh my God.
No, but Mr. B, normal people.
Look at B now coming in the jokes. Yeah. Like that one.
Normal people go R, but it's not. It's their C. Like, it's interesting. And I always think check out the takeaway, because a Monday might look like a pirate, but what's his face? Herbert certainly sounds like a pirate.
Can I just say, look, Mr. B's doing 2 shows tonight.
Yeah.
At halftime, they get 15 minutes break to sort of chill out, take time out and come back.
Yeah.
warm in the second half. So hurry up, half time. Let's get
All right,
straight
sorry.
on the go.
I
Mr.
bet
B
professional
doing,
football players don't have a half-time break like Mr. B. All right, well, we're going to finish with Sim Sim. He's got to win, otherwise it'll be a meltdown. Right, I've been told we've got to end the show. I hope everyone has a lovely weekend. In a couple of minutes, Mr. B, Jeff, and the lads will all be back. Watch along on Sunday, Mr. B.
I don't know. We win when I don't do watch alongs, and I'd rather we win than have my face on there cussing when we lose. So I don't know. Bath time. I'm in two minds, to be fair. I'm really in two minds. But look, if it is that, we'll know. You guys will know the same time I know.
All right. Well, everyone have a lovely weekend. That's a goodbye from all of us.